And they're 8 points back of Arsenal, who took care of Tottenham 2-0. Impressive performance for the Gunners. Completely bossed the first half. Should have been up more than 2-0. Saka with this cross that Lloris somehow turned into his own net. A bit of a howler there. And then Odegaard, who is a player who left Real Madrid because he wanted to play regularly, and he didn't see a pathway to that in that midfield with Modric, Kroos, etc. And he was ripped by the Madrid media for showing a lack of ambition. He should have stayed and fought for a place with Real Madrid, but this has proven to be a brilliant decision. He's gone to Arsenal, where the whole team is built around him. Everything runs through him, and he's the star player now for a team that's leading the Premier League and looking like one of the best playmakers in the world. He scored a fantastic second and was terrific the whole game. The second half, Tottenham improved, created some chances. Ramsdale came up big, but I think overall Arsenal were good value for this result. They take the 3 points. Do you want to talk about the game, or do you want to talk about what occurred at the final?
No, let's first talk about the game, and then we'll talk about the jackass. Okay, so look, first off, you were Lloris, okay? What is he doing? By the way, on both goals, okay? Because the Odegaard goal, that's from a long way out. It bounces a bunch of times. He sees ultimately where the ball is going, and he's still. And I know, sometimes I'm hard on goalkeepers. You know, you can't live with them, you can't throw them off a bridge, and they are a necessary evil. But save the ball. You are a quote-unquote world-class goalkeeper. You know, the first one, everyone's scratching their head. I don't know what he was thinking on that. It does take a deflection, and so maybe there's a little bit of forgiveness when it comes to a deflected type of cross that was just a hopeful smash across, and he somehow contrived to turn it into his own goal. And then the second one, I think he should ultimately do better. Having said that, Arsenal were phenomenal. And what is going to decide whether Arsenal can parlay this into the title is whether they truly believe that they deserve to be where they are. And I know there's a lot of new faces, and everybody's feeling good. But unlike some other leagues where it's 8 points right now in the EPL,
correct,
that should make it over. And yet there's still a sneaking suspicion in part of me that says that I don't quite believe yet that they are destined to win it. And I think you have to get to that point. Now, they might get to the point here very soon, especially with Man City faltering. But I still don't think that this is ultimately decided. So anyway, any final thoughts on the actual game before we turn it to what happened after the game?
Yeah, it's 8 points clear of City, who face Tottenham on Thursday.
Okay.
And then they're 9 points clear of United, and Arsenal hosts Manchester United this upcoming weekend. So some great games coming up in the Premier League. We'll have a better idea of the title race, where we stand. We'll look ahead to those games in our second pod of this week.
Okay.
But yeah, at the final whistle, first, Richarlison, who was behaving like a complete clown the whole game. He was just looking for a fight. I don't know what was wrong with him, but he got into it with Ramsdale, and in Gabriel, in trying to push Ramsdale away from Richarlison, pushes him towards the Tottenham fans, and then he gets kicked in the back by a Tottenham fan, which set off a whole brouhaha there.
What a mess. What a mess.
Huh?
So first off, kudos actually to the security, which saw, yes, the security is there to protect the players and to be looking into the audience, if you will, for any problems. But there's also things that can happen on the field. And one of the security guards actually turned around and was able to split the players, because this was at the end of the game. And then, it gets pushed off to to close to the fans that were behind the goal. And then this jackass comes out of the stands, okay, and attempts to kick him. Now, he didn't actually make contact because, again, the security guard actually had a really nice block of the actual kick. It doesn't matter whether he connected or not. There was the attempt to kick by a fan who came out of the stands to kick the opposition goalkeeper. I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was his own goalkeeper or not, but this was a situation where people were asking, well, why didn't they stop the guy from coming out? Keep in mind that we in the modern day and with modern stadiums right now actually err on the side of the spectators because of, the horrific things that have happened in the past where spectators are pent in and up and aren't able to get through. Right now, from a security perspective and a safety perspective, they enable fans to come on the field if and when there is an emergency, but not in this manner, obviously. And look, it's a fine line because you want to give them the outlet and the safety to get on the field, but you also don't want to have a Monica Seles type of situation where a fan comes on and poses a threat to an actual player. This guy not only attempts to kick the goalkeeper, but then turns around and runs off like a little coward. Okay, now they will have identified, because there's cameras everywhere, and they will identify who this person is, and they will get banned for life and probably face some sort of criminal action. But this was ridiculous, and again, it kind of shows this. And I know you can get caught up in the game and the emotion, and there's alcohol involved and all that kind of stuff. But this is beyond the pale, and this is ridiculous. And again, this sense of entitlement that fans at times have relative to buying a ticket or being a season ticket holder or being even just a fan of the team, that in that moment thinks that it is okay and appropriate for you to actually come on the field and then attempt to assault a player. By the way, the goalkeeper had his back to him too. So not only are you a coward for running off, but you're also a coward for trying to kick someone from behind. If you're going to kick me from the front, all right? And then stay there. And I wish he had stayed there, all right? He still would have been an asshole. But at least if he had stayed there and taken the beating that he would have gotten and deserved, he wouldn't have been as much of a coward for running away.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops every week. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops twice a week right here on my very own YouTube page. The only way to stay up to date is to hit that subscribe button down below. Size the day, and see you soon.